Bristol's 40th International Balloon Fiesta shares its birthday with a nearby hospice, St. Peter's. The hospice movement was inspired by the Christian belief that no human being, no matter how poorly, should be denied dignity and love.
Neil, hi.
Neil Applin is a Christian and on the staff here.
Well, thank you for...
My role here is a spiritual care coordinator, what used to be called a chaplain. St. Peter's Hospice is the only adult hospice in the Bristol area, and it's here for patients who have terminal illness, predominantly cancers. Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing? If you come into the hospice, you've seen it's a very bright place and it's a very happy place.
We can go back a little way.
When we first came in here, it was almost like a big hug.
Terry Hudson first came here last year when her partner Jeff was in the final stages of bladder cancer.
We talked because he knew he was near the end. He told me what he wanted to wear in his coffin because he wanted to be buried. He wanted to wear all bright colours and holiday clothes, yeah. And he wanted to die in my arms. So.
And did he get what he wanted?
Yes, he did. He did, yeah. He did, yeah. He did, yeah. And then he looked so peaceful. Yeah.
But before Jeff died, he and Terry approached Neil with an unusual request.
He was at the latter stages of his illness, and we were sat down by the side of the bed, and they looked at me and said, "Can we get married?" And I didn't know, so I investigated it, came back to them, and the excitement was unbounded.
I thought it would be sad, but it wasn't. He looked lovely because he had a dark jacket on with a white shirt, and I bought him a black dicky bow. Really lovely. The fact that I spent my wedding night in a reclining chair. As I say, I can't say enough about St. Peter's Hospice because I don't think we'd have coped without their support. Jeff was a great believer in white feathers. If he found a white feather in it, he'd say, "Look, that's from our mum and dad." And this is true. After he died on the Friday morning. And when I got home, in the garden is a great big white feather. So I put it in his memory box. Yeah.
Terry does many things to remember Jeff, and later on at the Bristol Balloon Fiesta, I'll join her doing that by taking to the skies.
He always wanted to go up in a balloon. Yeah, because when he was younger, he used to have flying lessons, you know, in a smallish plane, and he would have loved it. Yeah, so I expect I should get another white feather when I get back. You might get one as well for taking me.
watching Songs of Praise back in January, you'll have seen a man from here in Bristol who's been making a real difference to the lives of some of the city's homeless people. Jasper Thompson has been on a mission to convert old shipping containers into beautiful homes.
That's a container we're going to develop into a micro flat. As you can see, it's rubbish. But when we finish, it'll be fantastic.
Back in January, he transformed 5 containers, but now his Bristol site has 11 of them. Today, he's here at the Balloon Fiesta, showing others what he can achieve with the help of his many supporters. It's really grown, hasn't it, since we last saw you in January?
Since January, it's been absolutely massive. You know, we've been inundated with phone calls all the way from Ireland right the way down to Plymouth. So it's been a really great godsend, you know, for us, you know.
Those being given the homes also take part in the refurbishment, which builds their confidence and gives them new skills. One of those is 60-year-old Rob, who's Jasper's first resident.
He was street homeless for a number of years. He had lots of issues, and we brought him on board with us, took him under our wing, gave him a roof, you know, somewhere safe, somewhere secure, and, you know, he's flourishing day in, day out.
I've been very ill, mentally ill, very heavily into addiction. I'd like to say that that isn't part of the course, but it pretty much is, you know, sadly. And I lost all direction, and I just walked away from life. I walked away from responsibility. But then, you see, there is always light.
Yeah.
And it shines, for me, it shines from above. It comes from him, it comes from God. And he cleared my mind. He said, there is help. The help was this project.
Jasper.
Yeah. I have a purpose in life again. I can now start to do God's work through what I'm doing on a daily basis. Because it is God's work.
Yes.
I'm living proof that this works. This project works.
Has doing this project strengthened your faith?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were brought up as a Christian family as children. I speak to God on a regular basis in my quiet time, at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, just to ask for strength. I feel I'm guided, and I'm following a path that He's set out for me. My strength is there within God, and believing in that God has given me the strength to do this.